Welcome to the Golden Nuggets.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Golden Nugget. So we had a very interesting sharing in part 2, and of course this is part 3. We're still with Mustaffa, Kamal.
Hello,
again.
All right, Mus. So from hostel to restaurants, what's that story there?
What's the story there? I ask myself that. I ask myself the same question every day. No, I have no background in F&B.
Yeah, that's
don't know
right.
how to cook. But what actually happened was the building that I told you about, the 5-story building, 18,000, right?
Yeah.
URA said that the first floor cannot be a hostel because ideally we had 62 beds. We wanted to put more on the first floor.
I see.
Okay.
You can easily put another 10 to 20 beds, right? Downstairs. But they said when you can't be beds, you need to be retail. So all F&B. So in the beginning we rented it out to a F&B tenant, and then it didn't really work out. So we rented it out for about, if I'm not wrong, 7 or 8,000. So 18,000 minus 7,000, that's 11,000. That's almost half your rent, right? But we got it back, and we thought, hey, now it's back in our hands, and we can either rent it out to another person and offload that 7,000, or we can rent it ourselves, and instead of offloading 7,000, perhaps we can earn even more and cover the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So we thought, okay, people traveling, 62 people on top, they need to eat anyway.
Yeah.
And they're having breakfast anyway, right?
Yeah.
Why don't we bring the breakfast downstairs? They have it for free. But lunch and dinner, we sell proper food lah. So that's when working title came about. But we didn't have time to properly come up with a business plan.
Okay.
So it was a very quick one. I think it was a 1-pager, but it was titled working title. So we thought, let's call it working title lah.
Oh, okay. So that's how the
name came about. So one cafe, and we didn't have money also to like I said, like I think all the money that we had, we paid back.
Yes.
So we wanted to start a cafe, but we thought, okay, people needed breakfast, so toast, the peanut butter in a translucent bag. So we started selling sandwiches, simple pizzas, burgers, like very simple stuff. We started selling coffee and the furniture, we couldn't afford it, so we actually went to Ubi.
Okay.
It is Ubi, right? Yes. So actually we went to the industrial area in Ubi. We went to the bin and all. We picked up pallets, right? And let's bring it back, pallets, boxes, whatever, container cover. We brought it back, polished it up, varnished, and then we turned it into tables. So you remember, it looked very industrial.
Yes.
But not because we hired a designer to do it, because we couldn't afford it. So we thought,
I would say it was done tastefully.
Yeah, I know, right? It all came together. If you look at the pictures, you realize that actually this is from the bin, and from I still look at the pictures like, wow, we put together. I think we put together a cafe in less than 15,000.
Oh,
okay.
The highest expenditure was the coffee machine, espresso machine, which was 5,000, and the rest was just like random stuff. Remember, I brought my juicer from home to make like fruit juice. Tables and chairs. So that's how we started our first cafe. But because it was so unique, right? It wasn't somebody invest 150,000, open a cafe. It was a cafe that is born out of nothing, but serving there's a certain flow there from customers, and then the base customer would be travelers. You don't really see a bunch of Singaporeans hanging out inside. So it's kind of an unusual setting, right? Dim, random furniture, coffee, and then like people from all over the world chilling out. Then you realize, hey, this is like kind of a good vibes kind of thing, So what happened was the media picked it up. And back then it wasn't TikTok or Instagram. It was just like Straits Times, 8 days. Picked it up. Next thing we knew, people were coming. A lot of people were coming. So me and Kelvin, we thought, I think we better up our game. And we started sending ourselves for coffee classes. We started like researching how to do proper menu, proper food. And we started evolving. So that's where like foolishness was enough to get us across the line. But after that, you gotta, enough of being foolish. Now it's time to get serious. So it's always been like that for us. Play first, innovate, and then after that, see how we can be empirical and proper about improving it. And then one restaurant became 2, became 3, became 4. Now I'm so deep in. The only way out is in.
However you were describing the cafe, right, was exactly how my girlfriend, now I'm married, so my wife asked me, like, how do you find this place? I'm like, exactly what you said. I think the place is a bit dark for my liking, but it has a lot of good vibes. You know, good
the
feel.
charm, the music
good.
playlist,
Yes,
and
yes.
I remember, right?
Yeah.
I also couldn't point a finger. So it's funny because now we have some money, and then we recently opened a new working hotel in Kallang Riverside. We tried to achieve the same vibe, but a lot of people told me like, wow, this is great. You obviously have earned and gotten, the food is better, everything's better, but my close friends will tell me like, but it's lost its charm.
Yes.
Because this new place is perfect, it's spot on, the food is great, but there's just something that is lost from the old place. The old place had some sort of authenticity, had some sort of like charm to it. So we're also trying to figure out how to bring back that charm. But stay tuned, we're opening a new outlet in LaSalle, working title, second outlet, another outlet in LaSalle campus, pretty big one. So opening in 5-6 days actually next week.
Okay.
But I thought you just opened one near Jalan Besar.
Hamilton Road, ST Post area.
Yes, ST Post area. I've been there, by the way.
You have been there or haven't?
Yes, I have.
Oh, is it?
For some reason, I've been to like most of your cafes or restaurants. After we met Sailor, Tipo, all of them.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support.
Okay. So whatever you shared is a lot of successful stories about your journey, but what about the dark times? Can you share with us what exactly you went through, how you get through it?
Oh, the dark times, right? To be, I don't know. Like sometimes when I think about it, perhaps the dark times are more than the happy times. Yeah, and I'm always very careful when people come up to me and say that you are successful. I always have to water it down, you know, to be in a state of gratitude, right? But I always question like what does success mean? Because to me it doesn't feel like success, because you only see the accolades or this I've been to this restaurant, but in reality it's just a lot of dark times. Getting paid $300 sounds terrible to you, right? But there are months that I'm not even paid. Because money comes in, you are really last on the line. Suppliers, staff get their pay first, landlord, suppliers, everything to get the business going, and then you get paid last. And most back then when I wasn't confident enough, what happened was that I didn't know that I could just put aside, regardless whether it's a good month or bad month, that I can put aside money for myself. Because my mentality was quite altruistic in the sense that I don't care. Everybody gets paid first. If there's any left, then I'll take the money. If not, I won't take anything. It was like egoistic also. But in the end, I realized, hey, this is not sustainable, man. Totally not sustainable. Whether we make a profit or a loss, I need to set aside like this pays for me, no matter what. And then if the company makes a loss after I get paid, then we work on how to make the company profitable. Instead of I pay everything and then whatever balance.
Is it because you read the book Simon Sinek, Leaders Eat Last, so you pay yourself last? And
no, when that book came out, I thought like,
that book was quite recent though, right?
Pretty recent. But also,
this podcast is sponsored by Vital Signs First Aid Training Centre.
Introducing Vital Signs First Aid Training Center, your ultimate destination for workplace safety excellence. Our CPR AED training are absolutely essential. Imagine having a confident and well-prepared workforce at your disposal. A workplace where every single employee knows exactly how to respond in a crisis situation. You can create this kind of workplace with our hands-on training sessions. Our courses are designed to be not just informative, but enjoyable and unforgettable. Schedule a CPR and AED training session with us today, and you'll even enjoy an exclusive discount for early bookings. Don't wait. WhatsApp First Aid to 874-84007 to secure your spot. At Vital Signs, your workplace safety is our top priority. Join us in making your workplace safer and more prepared than ever before.
Nuggets, back to the episode.
I don't know, I think that my time in SCDF is quite interesting also, because in SCDF we have this thing called AOS, appreciation of situation, in the army as well. So when you attend an incident and you go in, right, it's usually the officer who goes in first. As a fire officer, the man gets ready the equipment, you walk around the ground and check out the situation. So before your man enters, you need to enter and make sure that everything is safe, and that we can proceed our operation. So my mentality has always been that when it comes to operation, the leaders in first, and then when it comes to the reward, the leaders take last. That's always been the case for me. I don't need the glory. But a lot of dark times. COVID was pretty dark as well.
I mean, just now you mentioned Matt Sailors, right? So I think Matt Sailors is no longer around, right?
No long. Put it this way, I think we're taking a sabbatical.
Okay.
From Matt Sailors. Haji Lane, when we first started out, was a very cool street.
Yeah.
Hipster cafes, nice shops.
Yes, COVID affected.
Not only COVID, but over the years, one end of Haji Lane became more like a drinking street, party street. So there was a point in time where every Friday and Saturday was like Mardi Gras. Like it was a street party every Friday and Saturday. So being a halal friendly, a Muslim friendly restaurant over there, kind of odd because Muslim families won't go there. Yeah. Because why would I bring my kids to a place where everybody's getting drunk, right? But people who get drunk won't go there because we don't serve alcohol. So we lose both crowds on Fridays and Saturdays. And then we were still doing alright, but we made the decision to okay, this is not where we want to be. We want to be in a family friendly place like National Gallery, art centers. So we kind of had to re-strategize and said, Haji Lane is great. We're doing alright there, but we need to make that move because this creates a branding, right? The kind of brand that you are, the kind of people that you attract. So we made the decision to cut. But we are looking to reopen Matt Sailors, so stay tuned for that.
So it's on hiatus.
But during dark times, that's where you really have to. It's a matter of answering the existential question because then you start to ask yourself like, why am I doing this? I don't get a benefit. I'm paying a loss. I'm topping up investment. And then you ask yourself why you're doing this, and then it goes back to the purpose and the vision of the company. So back in the day, when you read about mission, vision of the companies, to me it's just words on the wall. But it's only during dark times I realized that those are not just words on the wall. It's something that everybody holds on to. When everything else is a distraction and you're getting beaten, squashed left, right, center, then you realize no. But doesn't matter because that's our mission and that's our purpose. So we will carry on even though we are attacked. So I think that mission, vision and purpose has really tied us through some very difficult times. And our purpose for the Black Hole Group is actually to be an ecosystem that benefits. Nothing to do with F&B, right? It's just to create an ecosystem that benefits people, benefits the staff, benefits the people who eat there and enjoy. I've had so many people who went for dates there, got married, got kids there, and they will come to me, our first date is there, our wedding photo shoot is there. And I have so many thousands of staff who's gone through the motions of Black Hole Group, right? And some of them met at Black Hole Group and they got married. Now they have kids. So I feel like a grandfather of their kids.
You mentioned before, I think one of the staff was one of the tenant who actually stayed at the hostel. Right. So that's very interesting. And a
lot of cases of we became friends eventually. Staff of the cafes, patrons of the cafes, people who stayed at the hostel, we become friends, and we're still friends today.
And you mentioned about the words on the wall. I think now
words on the wall.
Just earlier you said the vision and the mission.
Oh yes,
right?
I see.
So maybe I have it in my iPad somewhere there. But what's the words that you have now on your wall?
You mean in the office?
Yes, you shared during the super conference.
Is it no acquiescence?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. So I feel that gone are the days where we spoke about military leadership, right? Gone are the days where a leader makes a decision and had 1,000 other people follow. You know, I feel like that is great to get us somewhere because in the beginning, 1,000 people will not know what to do. So one person will have to say, "This is what we do," and just trust me. It needs to be a benevolent dictator kind of model. Dictator but benevolent. But eventually this benevolent dictator is not an expert in any field. He's not a designer, he's not a brand expert, he's not a chef, he's just good at leadership. He's not good at everything else. And that is where you got to start trusting your people to be the best at what they do. The best designer, the best branding, the best video editor. And in order to do that, you need to create a safe environment for them to operate in. And you need to and one of the ways I try to create a safe environment is that I try to remind them that in Black Hole Group there's no acquiescence. And to be quiescence is to be a yes man. I say, do this, you say like, okay, yes sir, because you hired me, so yes sir lah. But you are the expert, you are the chef, and you are the designer, you are the creative, you are the video actor. You know your stuff better. Let me guide you. Let me create that safe environment and culture for you. But you thrive in that environment. Yeah. So I think that's one of the jobs of a CEO that a lot of people I feel like they misunderstand. The CEO doesn't have to be the best at everything, but one of the jobs of the CEO is to create that culture and the environment where people feel safe, that they feel like they want to give their best.
Okay, so before we talk about being a CEO, right? You have gone through the process of hiring people, and when you try to relate whatever you just said earlier, a lot of newer or basically people who have worked in the past in a full-time job, they won't understand this concept. Because they feel like, oh, if you hire me, I just need to listen to what you say. But
it is true.
Yeah. So how do you then find the people who will actually, follow through with your mission and vision?
I think it's a difficult process. Before that, the culture was very organic. At Working Title, for example, we used to hire people with midlife crisis, former engineers who's done with the engineering field, and then I want to move along, but I want to work in a cafe for a while and just take it easy. I had a lawyer who worked with us once, and he asked me for a job. I was like, "Are you sure? No, you got to wipe tables and clean toilets?" No, I'm sure. So he worked there. So while he was working in Working Title, he took up yoga course, and eventually he became a yoga instructor, and eventually he bought a yoga studio, and now he owns a yoga studio. So from a lawyer to a yoga
super interesting
owner. So I think from the very beginning we were hiring this kind of people already, who kind of think out of the box, who don't want to be encumbered by the rat race in life, right? Yeah. So the culture started out like that, but as the company grew bigger, we had no choice but to create systems and processes. So Black Hole Group became a bit more bureaucratic. But in that hiring process, I also work very closely with my HR team to make sure that when somebody joins us, to make sure that this person's mindset can fit to the culture. And we still do make mistakes. We've had brilliant people join the Black Hole Group and they cannot fit in, find their footing, because they found that for 10 to 20 years they were so good at what they did outside in another company, and then the F&B company, that the structures are so clear that they come here, they feel like, I feel useless, I can't do anything, and then they cannot fit. So we realized that it's not about like you got 20 years experience and then you will thrive here. It's about your mindset, the ability to think out of the box, the ability to solve problems and be dynamic in the way that you approach problems.
I see.
And until today, I think we'll still get it wrong, but I think we're getting better at trying to understand that, and I would say that over a period of time we've developed a certain culture where it's also branding, right? When you create a certain brand, the brand attracts people who feels affiliated to it. Naturally. So that branding is also important. So when we have the brand, so in Black Hole Group, we also work on HR branding. We have meetings with the HR team and with the branding team on how we build the HR branding, because the kind of branding that you create will attract the kind of staff that will be interested to join you. So that's important as well.
Okay. And I think final question. Before Hanafi, do you have any other questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, so final question.
Go for it.
Difference between co-founder and being a CEO.
Worlds apart, man. I mean, founders. I think I mentioned to you, perhaps privately, a person who runs a chicken rice shop, who started a chicken rice shop and runs a chicken rice shop, also is a founder of a business. You can be a one-man team and still be a founder of a business. But as the company grows and scale to 100-man and to a 200-man company, then that's where the idea of being a CEO comes in. Because a lot of CEOs are not founders of the business. They're not even entrepreneurs. They went for an MBA program. They're good at management and leadership and how to run a business, and then they are appointed and hired to be a CEO for a company. Whereas a founder may also be a founder of running a one-man company for 20 years, right? So founder and CEO is that's how I distinguish it. So for me, I I'm both. I'm a founder of a company and I'm also a CEO. So I constantly have to evolve the way that I think. When I was CEO, so to speak, of a 5-man company of one cafe, the way that I lead is different. I got to be down on the ground, doing shifts with them, washing the dishes with them. After shift, we hang out at Kampong Kelam Cafe, drink, or go to Sarawak and drink teh tarik. But now I'm a CEO of a 170-man company. It's different, right? My connection with them and the bond with them is different. It's via broader level engagement. So as a CEO, I'm also learning how to evolve and manage the team and work with the structure, or instead of trying to cut through the structure, because being a founder, going up, right, you tend to want to control everything because you came from the ground where you control the temperature of the coffee and how it's served, how the handle is angle, you control every single thing, and now as a CEO you can't control that. And then I got to work with that lack of control, but how do I communicate in a concise and clear manner to my upper management, to my middle management, such that this gets translated down to the ground. And for that you have no choice but to evolve in the way that you think, and you cannot be worked up over the smallest details, and that's something that I've learned over the years.
All right.
Okay, so just one last one.
Last one, huh? You tricked me.
No, not really. This is more of a shout out. So for the listeners, go and follow all the restaurants that he has.
Thank you.
Do you want to mention all the different?
No, it's alright. I mean, we run a group called the Black Hole Group, and that it's an umbrella group that manages a bunch of restaurants that we founded. Like you might have heard Tipo Pasta Bar, Tipo Gnocchi Bar, working title at Riverside. We're opening one in La Salle. Soon we'll be opening a new brand called Small Batch in Botanic Gardens at Jacob Blas Gardens. We also have the brands like Matt Saylor's Mexican After It, and then we have the Great Mischief at National Gallery. I won't go on anymore, but check out Black Hole Group. I think everything is listed there.
Yep. Awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
I wish you the best.
Thank you.
And I hope this has been beneficial to all of you.
Yes,
and it has been beneficial to me, as a reminder to me as well.
All right, with that, guys, thank you so much, and stay tuned for the next episode.